Alright, guys, this is gonna have to be a video that I do not necessarily enjoy having to make because I just really don't like having to, even make these kind of videos or do anything because I just like making compilations and being able to play the game and, just make cool stuff for me to look at. But we have to address the elephant in the room that no one, for like, I guess some reason, is willing to like communicate, and everyone is just going off of baseless assertions that they are not, and that they are not asking. By the way, no one's asking us what we want. They're just kind of trying to tell us what we want and trying to tell us how we can feel about something. And I'm just going to basically get down to it because people are not recognizing that there is a problem with WUWA right now. And I'll basically go ahead and list out a lot of the problems that we're actually going into. So, one of the biggest issues that we are actually having right now, and I know issues with WUWA, obviously people assume that there are no problems. And I'll be honest with you, in terms of gameplay, yes, there are no problems with the game, but it really has to do with the rewards and their reward structure. So, if you recall correctly, during, I believe, it was 1.2, there was actually a point in time where people actually got the character Zhang Liao was given out for free. Now, the problem with this is that PlayStation players did not, I repeat, we did not get Zhang Liao for free. We could not play the game until 2.0. We could not even get him on rerun because by the time the game came out, this was not available anymore because Carlotta and Jeje were on the banner. And the fact that we didn't even get a selector to be able to select this character or any other characters that we missed, I mean, it's a missed opportunity for someone who's stating that they are player friendly. And even though they're good, we got to keep it, a buck here. And before anyone tries to say, oh, well, you didn't have that, you can clearly see that I played the game on launch day. I was there on launch, but the mobile optimization was so fucking bad that I could not play the game at all. I literally started on day one, and you literally just could not play the game. It was not playable because my phone would constantly overheat. It would crash the game after playing for a little bit over an hour. It was just one of the worst experiences overall, and we were not like compensated, which, maybe it's not fair to ask for compensation, but you're claiming you're player friendly, so we have to keep it a buck here and keep you where you're at. We also have the issue, because yes, while I do have Phoebe, we have to acknowledge that there is a problem right now with Rover. It's not with Arrow Rover. It's not with Spectra Rover or Havoc Rover. It's with Arrow Rover. So if you look at Arrow Rover's kit, they have a part of their kit where half of it basically doesn't work. You are only able to apply arrow erosion after, and I mean only after, you convert one of the status effects that already exist that they plan on putting in the game. You can only convert, and right now those are only gacha characters. There is no way to play Arrow Rover and have the full kit work for free. That is absolutely terrible. There should be no reason, and again, I have Phoebe, so I'm not even considered in this, because I technically can use that part, not to full effect because it's a little wonky, but it kind of can work. But, we already have other healers, so why would I play Arrow Rover? It is a cool kit and it is fun, but I'd rather just stick with Spectro or Havoc, because why would I bother with that when we literally can start the game with Baija, and we also can start the game with it's the little kid, Varina. We literally already have healers that do Arrow Rover's job just as well. So what was the point of them making Arrow Rover? Just to lock like half of their kit behind gacha characters. Because the way that I had it thought was that we were gonna get like Chacona. Like, I thought that she was gonna be free, because that would fix the issue with Arrow Rover not functioning properly, and the fact that that obviously from what we saw in the anniversary did not happen. That's kind of concerning, because we didn't even get like maybe a free 4-star to be able to fix the issue, because half their kit does not work. So there's no real point in even playing Arrow Rover, because there already are healers that do that job. There's not really a way to play Arrow Rover to their full extent. And even if, let's say that they're planning, why would they, be planning this far, like, in advance? Because the Arrow Rover literally does not have a use. Like, there's no reason to like really use them right now. Like, it's cool, but typically, to get the hype, going, introducing such, like an interesting kit, I would imagine that you would try to actively promote it by, giving it at least something. Like, if we really wanted to go ahead and push the idea of Arrow Rover and, them getting their signature weapon, which still, by the way, we don't know how to get duplicates and stuff for. We know that there is a way, we just don't have it. So I imagine like maybe with like more story stuff we'll get duplicates. That's fair and all. But how good is that when it's only locked behind gacha characters? Like, all of it is behind gacha characters, and there's no way to do this for free. So if we were to go ahead and have someone start, let's say 3.0, at a later point, you have to actively tell that person, once they get to Renacita and they go through all the story and they unlock Arrow Rover, and then they ask, hey, how does this part of the kit work? And you have to actively tell them, well, it just doesn't. You have to wait for a rerun of a character instead of the game actively giving you at least something to work with. Because, again, Spectro Rover is a sub-DPS support that, as you unlock more sequence nodes, they kind of become more geared towards Spectro. Because of the Spectro Shred, they're able to shred Spectro resistance. So at the very least, they are buffing themselves. And you can say the same thing about Arrow Rover. At the very least, Arrow Rover is buffing themselves, if not, other Arrow units. But we literally cannot use either the passive that increases the max amount of Arrow erosion stacks without a gacha character. And we cannot even use Arrow erosion without a gacha character. And while I'm not advocating for a witch hunt, obviously do not witch hunt, we do need to tell them that this is not okay. And you need to, at minimum, give us at least a 4-star that can actively, like, use these debuffs, so that way Arrow Rover can function. Because, again, Spectro Rover is a sub-DPS, and they work on their own. They do that. Sanhua can still buff Havoc Rover because basic attacks are an important part of that kit. And even if you don't want that, you can still, at the very minimum, still use Verena and her attack bonus along with the whole Echo Set bonus to buff the damage. So we have ways to buff the other two, but then we have Arrow Rover, which, yes, they get their 5-star weapon and their signature is there for free, and I love that. I appreciate that. But we got to keep it a stat. Well, why would you use Arrow Rover even if you have their signature weapon if half the kit basically just doesn't work or it's locked behind gacha? People that were wanting Chalcona for free, I can understand why it would be an issue for them to give a character, let's say, for free, but they've kind of written themselves into this corner by having a kit that is locked behind gacha. So before we start pointing fingers and start saying that, people are being greedy and asking for $10,000 along with free food, home and board, listen, there's a lot of things that people are concerned about, and when people are voicing it, don't immediately denounce them and say that they're being greedy and stupid. Because, again, PlayStation players did not get your free character. We didn't get it. At least I know I didn't. There probably are a few people that did, but I know that I was not one of them. And I know a lot of people on PlayStation did not get the opportunity to even play the game. And then on top of that, I know when the game first came out on mobile and I was trying to force myself to play it, a big problem that I had was not having controller support when they said in every interview, in every stream they did, that controller support would be available on launch, and it wasn't for mobile. It was only for PC, and they made no mention of that. Nobody called them out on it, but I know I did. So, let's just keep it a buck here, and we're just going to keep it real. The game is good. Don't witch hunt. We're not killing. We're fucking Kuro Games. We're not uninstalling, but we are gonna let them know that, hey, y'all kind of fucked up and y'all did this to yourselves. You kind of need to write yourself out of this corner. That's all I wanted to say about that. It basically is something short. It's just to give a lot of context, because I know I've been going crazy on social media whenever I tell people, and I know maybe I get maybe 12 or 30 something likes, and it's gassing me up. I just wanted to fucking tell people, hey, these rewards, while they're okay, you're not considering the PlayStation fan base that literally made it number 2 on PSN in Japan, and we got no rewards for doing that. Yes, I'm not in Japan, but I am a part of PlayStation. I didn't get anything for basically helping the game grow as much as it has. And for the most part, I have not even spent any money even on the game. I've gotten skins, I'll tell you that. I for sure have gotten skins, but I have never spent to get characters, because luckily the gacha luck has been with me. So I've made decent pulls, and the characters are of amazing quality. But we can still call a spade a spade. They made a bad choice, and they have to fix it, and the ball is in their court. I've seen what they've done, because they are giving more pulls. That's not enough. So instead of just complaining about it, I'm going to offer a solution. You need to give a 1.0 selector, where all of the 1.x units are selectable, and you get one of them for free. This would help the PlayStation players who missed out on Jian, on Yinlin, and on Zhang Liao, because again, everyone else got them for free and we didn't. So at least we have the option. And then we have the other 2 characters that we should be able to at least attempt. If there are people that don't want Zhang Liao, they can still at least get something. Because again, None of those characters were available to us. So that is only fair. It keeps things within expectations without asking for too much and not asking too little. So no one can say, oh, well, everyone got Jangly Out for free, but PlayStation didn't, because now that's an argument. And yeah, I'm going to keep using it because everyone else got them and we didn't. Now, if you do that, no one can say anything because everyone wins. Everyone can either get a copy of a character they already have, or they could go ahead and get one of the older characters that they maybe would have wanted, because again, Wuba does a good job with old characters still being like relevant. And then they still have to figure out something to do with the Arrow Rover, because again, I watched Saint Tontus, I watched Tectone and Ethan. Saint did a video with a Genshin streamer and was speaking about how it's not right for the game to lock things or mechanics behind characters. Well, Wuwa has now done that with Arrow Rover, and you should have the option to use that part of the kit without having to gacha for the character. So they need to fix that, and as soon as they do, that would be amazing. I respect all of those CCs, but again, all the ones I just mentioned, they're all on PC, and they don't understand what it's like on the PlayStation side. So that's just coming, at least from us. I don't speak for everyone, but I'm just saying, hey, give us a chance, okay? So that's pretty much it. I don't want this to be too long. Don't witch hunt. Be nice. Be reasonable. And you guys stay safe and have a good one. Peace.